This go back to what you said earlier about free will. And I started to get into it, but I didn't. I don't believe in free will. There's no such thing as free will because you already know the answers to all the tests. Like, even from a religious perspective, they say, well, God knows everything. Well, if God knows everything, he knew what we would do and he could have stopped the whole plan. You know what I'm saying? Or he could have stopped this from happening. So the truth is, there is no free will. It's all planned by you.
Hey everybody, yeah, we're back. Okay. Conversations conversating. So yeah, let's go. Corey's here again. Everybody knows Corey. Corey Brandon, Soul Traveler 77. It's Awaken to Joy. I'm Shem.
I am Omondi.
Welcome to Corey. If you just like to say hi to everyone and anyone who doesn't know you, explain who you are.
Hello, if you don't know me by now, just forget about it. It's too late. You can't get on the train. No, I'm just like, I'm Soul Traveler 77, Corey Brandon. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on introductions. I want to get back into our conversation because it was such a good listen. I was almost upset I had to go pick up my daughter. That's how bad it was. I was like, shit, I got to leave because it was such a good conversation. I want to definitely pick up where we were and talk about, I know you wanted to talk about, Karmic loop. And so kind of get into what I kind of, yeah.
Just to let everyone know,
Yeah.
we are talking about this construct, the 13 beings that actually participate in creating this construct, and the possibility that a lot of us, waking up right now, being awake now, actually actively participating in putting this whole construct together. And we all have a role in accordance to this, but also the possibility of souls coming from outside of we're all from outside of the construct, but actually never created this construct, but are here for a particular role. And also talking about this karmic loop that people have experienced lifetime after lifetime, and that explaining about what are the thing that's happening, and people see it as being a trap. And obviously with Corey, we're actually talking about being aware of that, aware of the fact that, hey, you know what, I know you don't like it, but you probably created it. So give us your version, Corey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna touch on both of the two things you kind of started talking about. So one, I would say that we all have actively participated and created, everyone here, and not creating it from a structural, but we field this construct with our own manifestations. We do that all the time. Like, you can literally, at this point in your flesh suit, manifest things that at some point will come into your life. That's creation itself. And that's literally how all of this stuff is created. There's the 13 souls didn't have a hammer and nails and created a construct. It's created through manifestation, thought forms. They said, this is what we want to happen. That became so. And on the other side, that's literally what we all do. We've all created constructs. We've all played in constructs we didn't create, had others play in ones that we did create. The OBE I had where I saw this room full of different constructs, I had a conversation with Darius and was telling him about it. He said, well, that could have been a room that the constructs you helped create. And it just so happened the one we in now was in that room. So, maybe I helped create. And again, these are things I want to confirm as I keep going through my OBE journey. But creation, we are all creators, every single soul, whether you awake, not awake, know about OBE, never had one, you live your whole life, died, never knowing any of the stuff that we know, you still on the other side are a creator. Everyone is God. There are no lesser gods or greater gods. Everyone is the same God. They have the same creation abilities on the other side. So I want to address that first. I want to make sure, because what I don't want to do is have people thinking that we are somehow unique. I don't say special anymore, because we are special. We special for waking up in a time like this, but we're not unique because anybody can do what we're doing. So I'm very careful about that and saying, hey, I'm doing this. I'm not doing anything anyone else can't do. It's literally free to every soul in the construct. And then addressing Carmen Lou, I hear that a lot. I hear the whole, oh, well, you're forced to reincarnate. First of all, a soul can't force a soul. Nothing can force a soul to do anything. So if you can't be forced to come back here, because nothing can force your soul to do anything, period. You are God. So saying you forced to come back here is like saying God is forced to do something. And we all know from our understanding of what the principle or the concept of God is all powerful, all knowing, can do whatever God wants, and can't be told what to do or what not to do. Well, that's the same thing you are as in soul form. So I don't necessarily, and again, I don't know if that's y'all's position, but I've heard people say, oh, well, this karmic loop, meaning you're forced to come back here. No, you agree to come back here. And you agree for different reasons. Maybe you want different, again, the purpose of the construct is experience. So you may have one experience and then you say, hey, I enjoyed that experience. Now let me see the reverse side of that, which is what we were talking about in the last video about being good one time and then coming back and doing some crazy shit. And then Hitler isn't a bad guy. Hitler was a guy that came here to have a bad experience for the purpose of having that experience. The people Hitler affected also came here to have the experience of being the victim of what he was doing. It's all par for the course of experience. And so there is no forced reincarnation. It's only you decide to come here, because karma doesn't exist. There's no such thing as getting back what you gave out. Like the only thing close to that is a life review, where you have to experience what you did here, but then after that, it's over. There's no eternal karma that if you did this, you automatically will receive this in a certain particular time. There's plenty of people that do things bad and they get away with it their whole life. It's murderers right now walking this free construct, never going to get caught, probably going to die knowing that they've killed people. And the only time they're going to have to experience any of that is that they like.
I was having this conversation like a couple years back I was chopping up with someone at a party about this. Like that was a random conversation I had, and he was like, you know what? Some people do these things and they just get away with it. And nothing ever happens to them. They sleep happily every night. And that's that. And at the time I was like, yeah, sometimes it looks like that on the surface, but just because say you're somebody who does something what we consider bad, doesn't mean that what I consider bad is what you consider bad. So maybe you consider putting somebody in poverty as something that's bad, and I consider murder as something that's bad. Well, if you say do the murder, and then what happens to you is your equivalent of that, then I would say then that's what played out for you. It doesn't. It's not like for like. And I think what people are home in on too much is a like for like.
Yes.
What is death to somebody who don't care to die for their cause?
Yes. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
You can't say, all right, that's it, to the chamber you go, because they don't care.
So,
but then do something like take away their money, or do something something random, whatever their thing is. It's like, you like hamburgers? You'll never eat hamburgers again. Whatever the crazy shit is. But that's what I was thinking about as far as karma is concerned.
Whatever that is, yes.
I just unsubscribed to the karma thing because I've seen that play out so much. where it's like, nah.
Yeah. 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 It's not a one for one comparison. And so what we were talking about yesterday, I thought about this afterwards, and I came up with this thought. I don't want to say it's profound. It could be, but the reason why we quantify evil and good is because we're looking at it from our perspective. We're never looking at it from the perspective of the person who is experiencing the other end of it. So, for example, somebody can say murder is the worst thing you could do. How do you know being murdered is the worst thing that could happen to that person? What if being in poverty for that person would have been a worse effect on them than actually being taken out of here and going back home? What if that person knows that murder isn't killing me, as like me, for instance? I don't care about death. So murdering me isn't the worst thing you can do. It's probably the best thing you could do, because now I get to go home. Like for me, I don't even look at none of that the same. So, but somebody on the outside looking in, Omondi, you killed me. You're a horrible person for killing Corey. Well, no, Shem stole all my money and put me in a situation that I had to deal with for 20 years after that. And it was the worst situation. It sent me to poverty. It sent me to homelessness, and now I'm out on drugs, and now I'm getting fucked up, and all this other shit is happening to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I might have preferred just a quick get me up out of here. You see what I'm saying? But when you're looking at it from the perspective of yourself and not from the perspective, and this is why the life review is so beautiful, because you get to experience everything you did, good and bad, from not only your perspective,
although right now it's
but the
difficult for a lot of
perspective
people
of
to
the
actually
person
think
you
about
did it to.
the life review, because they're only seeing it from their perspective right now as being human. So they have blame attached to it. So thinking, "Oh gosh, wow,
Their
are you
perspective,
sure?"
exactly.
And I even heard some
Exactly.
comment where people say, "Oh, do you all have to have a life review?"
I've heard some people don't have to have one, and I'm like,
Yeah.
So
okay,
why would
then.
you? Why?
And that's why I was like, okay, if you say so.
So they attach
Who did you hear that from?
to the
No,
concept
listen.
of blame.
Listen.
So, but here's the thing. I think, I think karma.
Yeah.
When people say karma, they don't understand what it is, and I'll come to realize that everything is going to have something to see with your belief and your understanding of consciousness. Because obviously you're saying, Corey, nobody is forced to come back here. We choosing this,
which we agree to. Like,
which
our take on it is, I feel the same way.
But it's a bit like the idea of free will, but I'm setting that aside for now. So basically, what I mean, we can touch on that as well. It's like basically,
we can touch
depending
on
your
later
understanding,
too,
this
because
whole
I
point
don't
of
believe
the
in that
ascension. So you get a greater understanding from the perspective you are right now, from your perspective as this human, this avatar that's going through the experience. And the greater you understanding, that's why now I realize that a lot of people like us, like you, are mentioning, yes, there will be, but there's also the in-body experience. You're going to have to master that. Because the more you master in this, the less likely you are to come back, feel that you didn't want to come back,
you don't
to
have to come
re-experience
back.
the same things that you saw when you used to experience and understand. So, for instance, a lot of people are referring to how we've been created, like the human. To say, oh, the Anunnaki, they had a bunch of work they had to do and they didn't want to do it. So guess what? They created us because they thought, hey, that's great things because they can do it for us. So we are gods and we don't have to do nothing. So that's what this whole perception as well of the gods that basically we worshiping and etc. and whatnot. However, what we for a long time, a lot of people find it hard to understand is we are the Anunnaki. So the Anunnaki did that, but they wanted to also come back and experience what it is to be a human. And then so on and so forth. But also that's because of also a lack of
Correct.
understanding as well. While they experienced as a human, they kept on reincarnating, and then, you know, being far away from who they truly are, far away from unconditional love. And we created this. That's what karma is. You keep on
Correct.
creating these loops, and you keep on coming back over and over and over again. But that's willingly.
Correct.
Because it's only based off of your understanding, your belief you hold. Hence why,
Yes.
from
Listen,
our perspective, is like,
correct.
don't hold too many
Correct.
beliefs. Because guess what? What that does, it's at the end, even though we use the word,
Right.
like we
I don't
say,
hold in.
well, I believe, no. But it's more like, I know that's what it is.
Or I have an understanding.
And I know exactly, I have an understanding. Or we like, I know that I don't know.
Oh yeah. I have an understanding.
When you're like, okay, well, for the sake of not holding on to this belief,
Exactly.
at least I can admit that I know that I don't know. And then it's kind of like you're more balanced and you have a greater understanding and perspective from where you are. But I'm hearing a lot of people now, they're talking about feeling trapped. That is why you're not trapped.
Correct.
That is literally why you're choosing that experience, because you're choosing to believe in this or not believe in that.
Yeah.
Yep. And from my perspective, if you do feel trapped, then break free. Break free from the trap. But it starts with breaking free from the traps and the conditions that are here in this base one, realm one experience. If you're not willing to get away from religion, politics, money, financial, if you're not willing to break away from these things, you're going to always feel trapped, because they are literally designed
but the issue
to
is
keep
this,
you entrapped and keep you
really
asleep.
Say, like,
so yeah,
it's comfortable. We got to admit that people only don't want to break away because from these beliefs and because
correct.
It's a comfort. And the more you admit to that, the more you can begin to work your way out of that. But if you never want to say, you know, when someone's find, you know,
most people
sort of like support in a religion, it's because there's a comfort there. And I can understand it, like I can relate to that. But nonetheless, you're all part of
I've been there. Yeah.
You
the belief. You're part of the thought form.
You're part of the thought form. Therefore, you're part of your own issue. Whereas you feel trapped.
There we go.
That's what I mean when I say.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
of your own.
We're
trap.
all out here trying to find wordings right now.
Yeah. Because
this is all uncharted conversation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Forgivingly
territory. Yes. Correct. Because it's freedom conversation. Again, even words we need to free ourselves from. Because on the other side, these words are so minute and so they don't do communication any justice when you compare it to what it's like to be on the other side. So, but to your point, I agree. I think most of the time people don't want to break away from this stuff also because it means now you got to work. And so that's where the comfort comes in. It's comfortable to just say, I believe in this God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in Buddha, I believe in Muhammad, because they've told me what I need to do. I don't have to figure things out for myself. I can just do what they said, and then I get to live happily ever after. But that's where the trap is. Because now you're only being a good person because you're trying to have the happily ever after, not to actually be a good person. You're not helping others to actually affect other people's lives. You're doing it so that you can receive a reward. So, and ultimately, it's selfishness. It's self-grandizement. It's self-righteousness. So this is why I had to break away, to find out if I'm really who I really am can't be attached to a religion or to politics or any of that stuff. Because there's always going to be a right and a wrong, and there's always going to be somebody on one side that agrees with somebody on the other. You got religious people, non-religious people say you are lying. Religious people say, no, you're lying. I'm saying I've seen other sides, so I don't have to believe in anything. Like, I've removed belief from pretty much most of my vocabulary. Either I know something or I don't know it. And the people I talk to in my Telegram groups and the guys who follow me, guys and ladies who follow me, I let them know right off top. If you ask me a question, I don't know the answer to it, I'm just gonna say I don't know. Like I don't try to know things that I don't know. And if I don't know it, I don't know it. I don't. What I believe is irrelevant because I don't know that to be true. If that makes sense. And so it's okay to just not know. Like there's people that ask me questions about OBE stuff. I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen that, so I don't know. I just don't know. I don't. If I see it, then I can give you an answer on it. But I think most people, again, this goes back to what we were saying about, comfort. It's easier to hear it from somebody else so you don't have to go experience it yourself. Most people are saying, I got all this fear built up. I'm scared to go. I'm scared to have an OBE. I might see a monster or see some dark spirit or whatever, right? So that ultimately keeps you from finding out the truth. So you rather depend on hearing it from me or Darius or somebody else. I listen to Darius. I think I said this in the last time we talked. I listen to most of Darius's videos. But none of that shit hit home until I had my first OBE. And then I was like, okay, now I can listen to him and know that I know he's saying it because I've experienced even part of it. Like I haven't had all the experiences he's had, but I've had enough to know that he can't be lying because I experienced a piece of that. Like I've been to the halls of Amenti. So whatever he says in the halls of Amenti, I seen a little bit of that. I'm pretty sure he ain't making that up because I've seen part of it. So again, it ain't even about you having all these grand experiences. Like I said before, it's about you understanding that these things are going on outside of your body, outside of this base one, realm one reality, outside of the construct. All these things are going on. Now you can listen to people and be like, okay, that makes sense. Like I had somebody going back to what we were talking about good and bad and whatnot. I had somebody in our group and they was asking about evil entities and whatnot. And I was explaining to them that there's just no such thing as that because evil is only evil if it can affect someone else. Correct? Like we would all agree being evil by yourself doesn't really mean you're evil. It just means you're a fucking asshole, like to yourself. But like, in order for me to be evil, I have to inflict something on someone else.
100%.
We all agree that would be the working
I was going to say
definition
about
of evil,
this.
right?
I think people at the moment have a hard time to respond. I mean, take responsibility, which is the ability to respond to their energy. How powerful we are. All of these so-called evil entities, they were the part of us, mirroring of us. Or even if they're not a direct mirror of who you are, at some point, or
they're a thought form that you've created.
This is part of who you could be,
and you are in the dimensional space
that allows you to experience that thought form.
Because it's easier to see it outside of yourself. It's always easier to see it outside of yourself. But
so what Yes. And that's what I was just about to get to. I think a lot of this is taking place because people are looking at it as something different from themselves. Just like they look at God as different, some outward entity that is different from themselves. So the people who are asleep, this is how they get trapped into these boxes because you're always looking for an outside source to either worship or point your finger at or blame. So the problem is people are not understanding that we are the source of both good and bad. Like in the Bible, it says good and evil, I created them both. I created the joy, I created the pain. That's what, quote unquote, this God figure in the Bible was telling the people. What this was just whoever was writing that text had an OBE and they had an understanding that I am the I am, and evil exists in me, good exists in me. I can move far into unconditional love. Absolutely. I can move far outside of unconditional love. That's up to me. And I think that, like right now, you guys could go out and say, we're going to be the next Bonnie and Clyde and start robbing banks and murdering people if y'all want to. You're going to suffer whatever consequence come from that. But there's nothing to stop you or not. or not, but there is nothing
Yeah.
stopping you other than who you are from doing that. I could
Yeah.
go out and be a mass murderer if I wanted to. That's not who I am.
No
And that's not an experience I
experience.
came here to have.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are people
It's
who
true.
came here to have that experience. What does it feel like to be that? And the people they murdered
Yeah.
came here to say, what is that experience to feel like being part of
Yeah.
that story? And these souls all know each other on the other side. This is the part that people are not getting, is that the the people in
But
Do you know
Gaza
what?
know
it's a
the people that's
refusal.
killing them in Israel on the other side. They all know each other. They all agree to be part of each other. It's a refusal to understand, because you got to have something external to blame or something external to worship. And
That's the
that's what
true
keeps us
karmic
in
loop.
the karmic loop, really.
Well,
Once you understand, right, that's the true karmic loop. Once you understand that all of it is in you and is none of it is external, now you start to understand, and now you can make those changes we talked about to your inner body experience.
As
So now you ain't depending on a
yeah,
heaven or hell to make you a good person. You doing that because I understand that I can be good and I can be evil, and I'm choosing to
yeah.
operate
but
inside of unconditional
speaking to
love
that heaven and
instead of
hell
operating
idea as
outside
well,
of it.
and the in and out of unconditional love, I think the way that this construct was built was also in a way that set you up to be able to be like, make the choice as to how codependent you wanted your relationship to be with this place.
Yeah.
This, you see what I'm saying? So we got governance. How
Yes,
sovereign are you?
correct,
Then you've got
correct,
the schooling system. How knowledgeable are you? You've
correct.
got the monetary system. How free are you?
Yeah,
There's all these things that are set up that can either be your
yes,
so-called comfort or your so-called key to freedom, depending on how you choose to play the game. And that's why when we see other people doing
yep,
things that seem to be outside of
correct.
how people operate in those systems, they're either vilified because we don't understand, why are you playing outside of that
Hmm.
system? Why is it the rules of this system, you're not abiding by them, but yet you're still
Correct.
thriving? What am I not understanding? And I think that people's asking themselves the wrong questions about the things that they are agreeing to experience here.
Mm,
It's beautiful what you're saying in
correct.
many
Correct.
levels, because if you really think
Yes.
about it, obviously we did explain when I was saying, you're part of the problem. The thing is, it's something people don't want to hear. But what's beautiful about it, it will come a time where you can blame everybody else. You can say, well, yeah, this is not working because of this is not working because of that. But at any time, you have a choice
To
to
become part of
say,
the solution.
do I want to be a part of the problem? Am I a part of the problem? That's the main question people should be asking themselves. You see, about asking the right questions. Am I participating into this? And even if you do participate into that,
Correct.
as far as I'm concerned, acknowledge it. Be like, I know I'm a part of the problem. I don't like it though, but that's where I'm at now, and that's okay. Throw it some
Yep.
unconditional love. You know where you are. But the issue, what what it is, and it's what you were saying about
Hmm.
people saying,
Hmm.
evil this and evil that. Evil is down to someone's perspective. At the end of the day, if let's say, and you heard that in history
Hmm.
before, if
Exactly.
a group of people have a beef, one of them kill one member, then the other one retaliate and eradicate the whole entire group. Now people will say these people are evil because they created genocide, right? That's how it can be perceived like that, and it's not to justify this as being either side being good or. But what I'm
Yes.
saying is that, so then it becomes then
Correct.
based off
Correct.
of a
Correct.
perception. Now you perceive as such because you may not know the ongoing history before that.
Hmm.
I mean, the not ongoing, because obviously the previous history, but you may not know that.
Correct.
And most of these things here
Or that.
in this
Yes. Correct.
construct,
Correct.
round one, it is down to your perceptions and your ability to respond to that. Whether you're going to be righteous, and then say, well,
Correct.
this is bad and this is etc. and whatnot. But it still keeps you in that old loop regardless. And like you say, asking yourself the appropriate question. Because even now, even when I try to explain to it, I'm trying to not be in duality in terms of even the word I'm using. And it's that challenging, but it matters. It matters. Because I'm like, how
you
do I make
can.
sense
Yes,
to the
yes,
listeners so they can
yes,
understand?
you
But at the same
can.
time, how am I, and that's me trying to take responsibility for it,
Correct.
not contradict myself by using these common words that are like embedded in duality.
Correct.
Oh, that's the thing. So yeah.
Correct. So I'll say this, and this is where everything comes back to the OBE, and I'm just be real with you, because once you've had that, you don't even see it, the duality anymore. Like, I don't operate in good and evil. I don't care. And I'm just being honest. Like, I don't care about what's happening in Gaza. That's not my problem. And it's meant to happen. And it's going to happen. And it's going to finish how it finishes. And the souls who leave here because of that agree to be part of that. So it's not nothing I need to concern myself with. Something else I thought about after we talked yesterday, and I think people full of shit too. A lot of times, I think people do this whole "I care, I care, I care," but do you really? Are you hopping on a plane to go to Israel to defend the people of Gaza, or are you just hopping online, saying your little shit so that you can get likes, get dopamine hits, because people going to obviously agree with you, and you get that dopamine hit from people agreeing with you. I said the same thing when the Black Lives Matter thing came up. People was mad at me because I'm black and I should automatically support. I said, it's foolishness. It's a manufactured cause, manufactured by people who ain't even black.
It's you know
And
what?
all the people
It's
that
to
are
keep you
involved
in
in
this
it, none
karmic
of them
loop.
are taking
And
to the
the
streets
thing
and
is,
doing anything.
That's the karmic
Like,
loop.
at all.
what you said is poignant.
Exactly.
Like I think it's this week. Randomly, I've heard someone been asked on YouTube. I can't recall the name of the person or the video, but it was just and it's random. It was random, and it's somewhat I needed to listen to that. And he was asked, "What do you say integrity? What do you mean by integrity?" And that was his answer. He said, "Integrity is when you by yourself and you close the door. Who are you? It's not how people perceive you and oh, you're such a good person.
You.
What do you do? Say you can never get caught. You can never get
It's
caught
who
no
are
matter what
you
you
when
do. You will
nobody's
never
looking.
get caught.
Yeah.
What would you do?" And I was like, you know what?
What would you do?
That's
What would you
humbling
do?
because it's the truth.
And you
And
know
people,
what? For
listen to me.
years, I've said something to it, but I
Yes.
didn't have the vocabulary. And I always
Yes.
said to Omondi, like, I'm telling you, babe, the unlocking is people's
Yeah.
deepest, darkest desires. Once they can face those and be like, this is what it is, that
Correct.
is who they
Correct.
are.
Because when you say they're full of shit, I know exactly what you mean. Is that
Yeah.
is
It's
you say
that.
that, but when you close that door, when you're on your own, you can't get caught.
Yeah.
What
Who
are
are
you
you?
actually
What are
doing?
you doing?
Yeah.
Or what are you saying in? Who listen, are you going out and having a great life and enjoying your life? You got money, you doing all this stuff, and then you hop on social media and say free Palestine. Well, what are you doing to help free Palestine? I'm bringing awareness. Who the fuck don't know about this? Like, who are you bringing awareness to? Who doesn't know? It's literally been bombarding our brains for the last year. So, and again, this is not a singular issue. I'm not just talking about the Gaza-Palestinian situation. That's one of many. There will always be a conflict to manipulate your emotions. I want to say this again. There will always be a conflict given to us by the people who control this realm in the construct to siphon emotional energy from you. There will always be something. It was Black Lives Matter. It's slavery. It's this. It's that. It's financial collapse. It's always going to be something to keep you from the thing that will help you
Yeah.
live the best
They'll
inner body
always,
experience. And
yep,
that thing is emotional
that will keep you
balance.
off tilt.
Never being up here, never being down here. Staying emotionally balanced. Everything here is designed to keep you off tilt, because if you can stay in a low
You know what? You
frequency, guess
literally,
what we're
Corey, you
gonna
just
manifest
gave the
more of in the
blueprint
world?
of
Low
ascension.
frequency shit.
Ascension, you are, if you're in polarity, plus, minus, whatever you want to picture
Yeah.
it, light, dark, you're going to have to.
Yep. It's in the middle. It's all in the middle. There is no, but and this is why I say I bring it back to the OBE, because once you've had one of them, you realize there is no light or dark. There is literally only light. Light, darkness, light comes from darkness. The
You know
void
what?
is where
And
all
when you want to
creation begins,
access
and it's
light
pure
places,
darkness.
you usually start off in a dark place to
And
walk
so
through to get to the light place.
most of the people, when I go into the OBE state, it's happening at nighttime when I close my eyes and it's completely dark. And that's when I can come out my body. So I'm starting from the dark to get to the light. So it's all, and this goes back to what I was saying about people asking about evil entities. That there is no such thing as that. That's just us
Yeah.
manifesting the negative parts of us, projecting that into dimensional spaces. So when I come out my body, I see a shadow being. I can choose to see that shadow being as something threatening to me, or I can choose to see it as just a being that's in my. I literally know that right now in this room
You
I'm
know
sitting
what?
in,
Yeah.
there's shadow
Yeah.
beings. There are
Yeah.
beings in this room right now watching me do this. I know that to be true. And so, because I know that to be true, I don't have a fear
Well,
of it, and I don't
you know what? It's
recognize
funny
it as
you
evil
mentioned
or
that
good.
because
It just is what it is,
talking about
right?
what you were referring to, manipulation and how manipulated your emotion can be. And I remember, I think it's one of our live, we're actually talking about the fear of the dark, and I get my interpretation then, because I was like, what I found out, and that's what you got to try and do for yourself is look at it for what it is. And I was like, hang on a minute. So I'm scared of the dark, then I just switch on the light, right? But these beings, I'm just giving myself, I'm kind of like tricking myself to believe
Right.
that once the light is on, they're gone. And they're not.
They're just there.
But I feel better. I feel
Yes,
better
and
because I
they're
switch
not.
on the light. Okay.
They're not.
But then
They're there.
if they're still here,
Yeah.
and the light, not only the light shows what I am, hence what I am light, but also it shows to me that it's just a matter of shifting that fear to my perspective, that to shifting to a new frequency.
Your
And
perspective.
you were referring
Yes.
about how fear can be excitement on the
Yep.
previous part of the conversation. Yeah.
Yep. Correct. So let me go into, let me tell you this real quick about that. I'm going to dig into that a little bit deeper, that fear of the dark. It's not even the entities. It is your fear of
Yeah.
not feeling safe. It don't have nothing to do with what's there, because you recognize it is there, whether the light, by cutting on the light, you've
It just
already
makes you
recognized that it is
feel
there,
better.
regardless of whether
Exactly.
it's dark or whether it's light. By cutting on the light, you've already made, but because of the dark, in the dark, you don't feel safe, because in your mind, you don't feel safe, because you feel like the darkness is where they can get you, because you won't be able to see them. Well, the truth is you can't see them in
Uh,
the dark or in the light, but
yeah.
you know they are there. So it's not even about the beings or the entities. It's about your ability to shift from the dark being a place where it's not safe to the dark being a
Th-
place where it's
These
irrelevant
are the things
whether it's
that,
light or dark.
these are
I'm
the
safe
beliefs. What you've
regardless
just
in
touched
any
on there
situation.
is the core belief that keeps us anchored into each of these paradigms. It's what keeps people saying, you know what, I must go to school because if I don't have an education,
Correct.
my life will fall apart. It's that safety net. It's the religion is that safety net.
Correct.
Like, I'm more
Correct.
safer. As soon as
It's
I
the
get behind
fear of
these
not
church
being safe.
doors,
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
safe there. It's the same ground.
Well,
I'm safer.
It's the same
I'm
land.
safe.
You've got a piece of wood in
It's the
front of you
same
or a
reality.
brick
yeah.
in
It's the
front
same
of you.
base
And you've
reality.
said, you know what? The brick
Yeah.
is here.
Correct.
I'm safe
Correct.
now.
Yeah,
or
well,
light
I'm
or
I'm
darkness in
gonna
front
add
of you, or
another
light in
layer
front
on
of you.
top of
Yeah.
this, and you know what? It's funny because when we started that conversation, it's because I think one of our subscriber actually was fearful when they had sleep paralysis, because obviously it takes a while to get used to that. So that led us to the Shem saying about talking about the fear of the dark, right?
Correct.
But what and it's good we got this conversation, because what I would love for the community is begin to ask themselves the appropriate questions. Why do you think they want you to be scared of the dark? So you don't make the correlation between you being a being that is from the void. The void is the absolute darkness where everything can birth from that
Correct.
place. But if I put you under the fact that dark is bad
Correct.
and anything related to, then you will never want to
Want to
go there.
return.
You'll
So
never
even if you
want to
go on the
go
other
there.
side, guess what's gonna happen? Because you thought will
Yeah.
manifest your reality. You're not even gonna dare
Yeah.
do that, because you could be like, that's what a lot of us now, we're like, I want to see,
Correct.
but then begin to be comfortable even if you don't see. And that is
Yeah.
why they're doing the manipulation goes far. It's layered here.
Correct.
So that's
And
what it is.
understand. Yes. 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 Correct. And I think too, understand that even when you do see, you're not seeing, like, your physical eyes see 0.035% of the field.
No.
Like, you don't even see 1% of everything that can be seen. You see less than 0.5% of everything that can be seen with your naked eyes. So even if you feel like life is the safety, it ain't, because you still can't see it all. You still in the dark, even when you're in the light, because you can't see everything that there is to see. When you outside of your body, you see everything there is to see, or even like most of what there is to see. Like when I came out of my body and I'm walking through my house, I'm seeing fairies fly around my house, like little fairies, like what you would think of Tinkerbell, glittery shit flying around my house. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing beings stand over my wife, and I'm like, oh shit. So if they there now, that means they always there, regardless of whether I'm seeing them or not. They there. Like I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, I
Yeah.
know there are beings in this room that I'm
This
in
is
right now.
poignant.
I know it. It
You're
ain't no
touching on
question
some
about
real
it to me.
stuff right
So,
now.
but and so I say that to say, this. I'm not in fear of it now because the light's on.
Yeah.
Is that because the light? No, it's because I'm not in fear. Period. Because I know that there is nothing that can harm my soul. And my soul is the only thing that matters, not my flesh suit, which will go into the dirt at some point. Hear me clearly.
Yeah.
Everybody's flesh suit is going into the dirt at some point. So this safety attached to the structure of your flesh
Well,
suit is
that
ridiculous,
is
because at some point the
basically
structure of
the
your flesh suit is
manipulation
going to be
that is
done.
taking place
It don't
now.
matter.
Well, and I also believe, can't you believe anymore? I've got to find a better
Correct.
word. I
You
also
also,
know, I said, but you understand what I'm saying. So I also know as
Yeah,
well that
yeah, I understand.
a
I
lot of these
understand.
people that we seeing as
Yeah,
being, the power that be or the evil or whatnot, they operate from a place of fear. And it is not in the interest for you to be comfortable in the dark. Because if you ask most of the people, put two situations in front of them,
correct.
and daylight, night, say, where do you feel safer? Majority of people are going to say, well, daylight. Because the assumption that it's safer. Not
The
because you
light.
truly know
Mhm.
that, because at the end of the day, if we created, let's say
I
we
see it
created, we
all,
created
and
a
it's
construct.
yeah,
Let's even use our imagination, which I believe is an amazing tool.
mm,
And in my construct,
correct.
realm one is that
Yes,
dark is light and light is dark. I'll just switch the two. You wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah, fine. Someone might say, yeah, but we would be like cats. We would have eyes that can see in the dark. Yeah, maybe, but you wouldn't have a problem with it because you would. It's a matter of perception.
But let me ask you this: why would we assume we would have eyes
Yeah,
like
right.
cats? We don't have eyes that see any
Yeah,
better in the light. We only see what the light presents to us. Like, this is what I want people to understand. The light isn't safer because there's still things happening around you you can't see. The safeness, this is how your brain processes safety. Can I see it, hear it, smell it, touch it, taste it? That's it. The five senses. That's all you got to determine whether you're safe or unsafe. Well, I'm sitting here telling you that there are things
And
that
it's
are
so
going on
true.
around you that you
yeah,
can't even
100%.
perceive through
It
your
is
five senses
100%.
all the
Yeah,
time.
And
Whether it's night, whether it's
yeah,
day, whether it's day, it doesn't matter. So your fear of
wow.
dark is irrational because your fear of dark is
yep,
because you can't see. Well, I'm telling you, you still can't see when the lights are on
And
because it's
and
still
that brings us back
it's
to
giants walking among
comforting
us
yourself
right
in your
fucking now.
belief.
well, this is what I'm this is part
Yeah,
of the work that I
right,
do.
right,
If you
right.
if you close your eyes and you can feel someone there, they are there. But guess what you didn't use to know that,
Yeah,
All there.
to
It's a
confirm that?
soul there.
Your
Yeah, correct.
eyes. And when you ever do
Yeah,
intuitive
yeah,
work, especially at the
yeah,
beginning, you shut your eyes. You go into darkness first because that's the
yeah.
best
yeah,
When I
way
yeah.
meditate,
to
You
I'm
go into
shut the
darkness
shit
first.
out.
yes, yes,
If
yes.
you check it, when you open your eyes, that's when you see yourself the most. That's
Yep,
when we tell the most lies out here. But when you
Yeah,
shut your eyes, you're like, okay, I'm going to go to a place where I got to feel
yep.
yeah,
into
yeah.
this from a
Hmm.
space where I don't lie to myself.
Yeah, yes, yes. Can I tell you? I'm gonna add to that. When you shut your eyes, what you're telling yourself is, "I trust myself. I trust. I trust that I'm fine. I trust." That's the only thing that can defeat fear is knowing. So if you
Yeah.
know a thing to be true, you don't have to be afraid of it, right? So, or a thing to be false, you don't have to be afraid of it. I know there are no monsters under my bed, so I'm not afraid of monsters under my bed. I know there are beings that walk around that look like monsters, but they're not, they can't do anything to me. So I don't fear them when I'm going into the OBE state. Now, there was a time I did. Now, I want to be very clear, this doesn't just happen overnight. This was a process. My first experience, I couldn't even do it in my house because I was so filled with fear. I was setting my intention to go straight outside of my house because I didn't want to walk around and see the stuff I've seen in my house because I wasn't prepared to face those fears. But then it got a little bit easier, and then I see more stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, well, cool. And through the OBE, what I became to understand is nothing can harm me. And that's really, I want to just keep it as basic and as simple as that. If nothing can harm you, then there's nothing to be scared of. The only thing you fear, most people fear, is fear of something happening to their physical body. Well, once you know that you are not this physical body, that you exist beyond this, and you have always
Yeah.
existed beyond this, and you always will exist beyond this,
But
the
you
physical
know,
body is just a tool. It's a tool for me to walk around this
this
construct.
is where I have
That's it.
compassion for
And
people
I've
though.
been in multiple
So they
physical
get their
bodies.
OBE,
So,
they come out, they jump out, and then they do something
yeah.
like what I did the other day. I went to the beach and I'm at OBE and I said, okay. And I felt the sand. And the sand, I felt every fucking
Yeah.
grain in that sand down to the
To the
grains I
grain.
didn't even know
Yes.
was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, if I
The
come to the
molecules
OBE
of
with
the
the
same.
belief that I
Yes.
can get
Yes. Yes.
harmed and
Yes.
I've attached that to my physical, if I feel like, wow, if the sand feels so real,
Hmm.
what is holding a thump in my face going to feel like? I'm going to, You see, and these are the lies that you tell yourself, and
Yeah.
and
You
that's
gonna
what it
feel it.
is.
Correct.
It's the
Tell
incorrect
yourself.
attachment to
Yes.
what is physical.
Yeah, absolutely. I think is
That's
that
what fucks people up, because it's
yeah.
like,
Yes.
I'm gonna feel
Yes.
every
Correct.
piece of this. If I try and fly and I fall down, I'm gonna feel every. But then,
Yeah.
as you said, you took your time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kept
Yeah.
on. It happened with every experience. You unlock the fear because you're facing it, and then you're like, you know what? Freedom
More
is
to
on the
feel.
other side
Yep.
of fear.
Correct. Keep facing. Yep. Freedom is, and then I just turn fear into excitement. Once you get to that level, now it's, I literally have been sitting there putting myself in sleep paralysis, like I said before, and I hear sounds around me, and I'm like, cool, I'm getting ready to see you in a little bit. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to meet you. If it's a shadow, I can't wait to meet you. And now the next level is, the next time I see a shadow being, is reveal yourself. I want to see your true form. Like, now I know I have that much command. And the more command you understand that you have, the less fear you have, and the more freedom you get. And so this is why I even got into, this is why I'm even in this community. It's not even about, see, I keep saying this, it's not about seeing cool shit. That's one of the byproducts of what we're doing here. It's literally about freeing your soul while you're in this flesh, freeing yourself from all of the construct, freeing yourself from all of the distortion, freeing yourself from all of the lies and the traps and the karmic loop, all that bullshit. You freeing yourself from it simply by knowing nothing can harm me and I exist forever. When I say I am God, I
Yeah.
mean exactly that. Everything you
Yeah.
think God is, I am that on the other side. And I'm that in my body. I'm just
Yeah.
that
It's the
Yeah.
experiencing
knowing.
life in a physical flesh suit. So I'm that now. Like, be very clear. I'm not just God when I leave my body. I'm God compacted in this little ass,
Yeah.
weak ass flesh suit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That will someday go into the dirt, and I
Yeah.
return to being God again.
Yeah.
So,
I think
or the fullness of
like
what
the lack of
God is. So,
understanding, I think
yeah.
it's one of the major thing here. Not understanding what consciousness is, and
Yeah.
also how your body, what your body is as well. Like you referred earlier, about saying, like, I think it wasn't part one. Our body is like a computer, and it is like a biological computer. It is exactly that. The fact that your body has
Yes.
portals and
Yeah.
knowing
It is
about
exactly
the
that. Yep.
chakras and all of that are sort of like concepts that are being installed here in this construct. But the more you understand how even the mind work, like you can program the mind, but you can't program the heart. That's the thing. So then you begin to understand, okay, if I operate from the heart space,
Correct.
then there's less chances for me to be programmed, because automatically I'm just going to go into the intuition and start feeling for things. But then
Correct.
the mind being the knowledge and all of that. So then
Yeah. Yeah.
it's easy for whoever wants to control you to program you, because if you only operate from your headspace, from the mind, then you can be easily
Correct.
programmed. So people don't get it because it's layered. So when you say, well, I think the education system is important, and you do have, say, let's say, send your kid there, etc., or have a degree or whatever, you are signing literally for the programmation, because even the way you're going to learn there, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, when we there's no need to be in duality. It just is. So whatever
Correct.
you're gonna
Yep.
assimilate there, you're going to program
Yeah.
it.
It just
It's
is.
not even an
Yep.
integration. You just program, and then from there, your subconscious going
Yep.
to create that reality.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you can't say, well, yeah, but I know it's wrong, and I
Correct.
know it's this. Then at least, well, you can say, but at least you acknowledge it, but it doesn't undo it. It's still there. And the more
Just
you
know.
yeah,
I think I know what you're touching on.
yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
what you do, it's knowing what it is that you're doing,
exactly.
being conscious of what it is. Yeah, like,
Correct.
yeah, I'm
The
gonna go
intent.
to work to
Intent.
get this money,
Yeah.
but I'm
Intent.
aware that this is part of a
Intent.
monetary system that was set up for us to be enslaved. Okay, let's do that then. Let's play that. But then do it in a way that you're aware,
Yep.
because it's a
Cool.
totally
Yep.
different
Yep.
set of control. When
Yep.
yeah, I'm playing Tetris.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
playing
Yeah.
GTA.
You
I
said
know
it
what it
all. You
is.
said it all. You said it all.
Yeah.
It's like, correct. You playing exactly. So imagine playing a video game and not know you're playing a video game. You kind of subjected to whatever's in the video game emotionally. This is where you get out of that emotional balance because you're
Yeah. Because
subject to the surroundings because you
yeah.
don't know that you're playing. When you know you're playing a video
This
game
is
and
literally
somebody shoots you in the game, you don't get upset because I'm playing a video game. I knew that there would be a
Yeah.
possibility I would get shot if I came and played this video game, right? So I'm playing Call of Duty. I know there's a chance that I'm gonna get shot. My character in the
is
game is
part of the
gonna get
game.
shot. So I'm not upset when that happens. I may be upset that dang, I was trying to reach this level and that didn't happen. Now I got to do it over again. But I'm not upset that this
Well, you
happened
touch on
because
something that's
I'm
great
aware
here.
that that was the
You say, "Well,
possibility
I might
of it
be
happening."
upset," but yeah, they might be upset. It's most of the time it's because you knew better. So guess what? You can't avoid it. The minute you realize what this
Yeah,
is, you got to get out of it, or
yeah,
or you got to ask yourself the question: well,
yeah,
if
yeah.
this is the
And oh,
outcome,
yes,
how am I gonna feel? Well and knowing, I signed up for it. That's why there's no trap thing.
yes,
But you do have to respond
yes,
to that because
correct.
you're gonna be like,
So
I
I'm
knew
glad you
it,
said
and I
that.
just didn't
Yes,
listen myself.
yes.
You know what I mean?
So listen, I'm glad you said that because when I say emotional balance, that doesn't mean you won't ever be too high or too low. Frequencies move like this. So you got to go low. Like at some point, you're going to have to go low. What you don't want is your frequency to
Yeah.
be like this. You want it to be like this. I'm going to go low. I'm fucking human. It's times where I get mad. It's times where I get sad. It's times where I operate in lower. It's times where I get outside of love with people. It's times that happens. Like and I just don't stay in these places. So because I'm aware, which goes back to what we're saying, I'm aware I've dipped down into a lower frequency. Okay, get out. It's been times me and my wife got in an argument, and I went down in this low place, and I said, is it something I'm willing to leave her over? No, get out of that shit. Let's go back to being happy. Apologize, show her some love. Let's go back to being as happy as we can be, right? So I think the problem with people that and it's going to be people that hear this message and they're going to take it to extremes. Well, what they're saying is you should never be sad or never be too happy. No, what I'm saying is if you get too up here, the same measure is going to bring your ass way down there because you're operating outside of that emotional balance, right? And if you way down here and you really having this tough time, when you finally
Yeah.
come out of it, maybe you shoot to the highest levels you ever been. But you don't want to stay there forever. You want to get back to where I'm emotionally balanced. I'm happy, but my happiness is not dictated by what's going on
It's
around me.
not
I'm
tied to
happy
the game.
regardless. Like you want to manifest more money? Let me give y'all a secret. Let me give you a secret. You want more money in your life. Figure out what frequency money is for you. Meaning, what would your life feel like? Not look like, what would it feel like emotionally if you had all the money you could ever need? If that feels like calm and peace and not worrying and just joy and happiness, fucking have that now. Do it while you don't have the
That's
money.
when
Because what happens is you're at the frequency of money. Everything in the universe has to bring itself in alignment with your frequency. So it has to bring the money. If money is and again, that's literally what manifestation is. It's reaching yourself to a level of whatever it is you want. I'm just using money for example. Maybe it's not money. Maybe it's love. I want to find that person. Well, how would you act if you found that person? Well, act that fucking way now. Don't be an asshole now and expect to meet the greatest person. Well, because even if you do, you're gonna be an asshole to that person, and it's not gonna work. Or they gonna see you in a moment where you ain't being that person, and then it's not gonna work. So, whatever it is you want, match that emotional frequency as if you had it. So, that's manifesting 101. But people think it's just thoughts. And this is why I say that. Yeah, this is why I say that, because people think it's just thoughts. It's not just thoughts.
Touching on with the community and explain to them as well about transmutation, alchemy. And like I was saying earlier, we are actually trying to teach that. But one thing is, and you did mention, you say, well, you know, you can't be all the way up there and all the way down there. It's not advice. You can, if you want to. You can have a go at it, but I wouldn't advise you. But yeah, if that's your wishes, I guess your souls have decided to experience it like this one on. But the thing is, this is what I realized as well, and that's for my perception. That's a little tip I'm going to give people. Yeah, what I realized with this is what, just so they know, what keeps you all the way up there or all the way down there is when you work at it. So, for instance, like you say, an argument. You've got an argument. Now, what a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, we've got a problem. We've got to fix it. And that's where it begins.
Yeah.
Guess how the universe, what? The universe don't give a shit.
Yep.
It's
and
like,
now you wallow
you want more of that then? I'll give you more of that.
Yes.
Until you understand, hold up.
It's gonna
what's
give you
going
more,
on there?
You got one more problem.
I didn't ask for this. And you're like, oh, snap.
I don't have a problem.
Get out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or no. And now what you're saying to yourself, wow, the world is shit. And worth being here. And you wish for something else. And you wish for other world. Yeah. And you wish, like I always say, well, if the place here was dope, you would call it home. You wouldn't look for anything else. The only reason you're awakening now is because you've noticed a couple of things are not all that.
They're not dope enough.
They're not dope enough. And you realize, hang on, it's not supposed, or you have a strong feeling. You say, shit, it's not supposed to be that. I didn't sign up for that shit. And you say that. Well, yes and no.
Yes,
in a way,
correct.
You probably, realizing
correct.
now, I signed up so I can wake up. So for that shit, and then I wake up and then I'm saying, you know what, no more of this. Yeah. But that's what it is. So stop fixing every fucking thing.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's like, stop always thinking there's something wrong just because you experience something. That's just an experience.
Yes. So let me tell you the foundation of what you just said. You remember yesterday we talked about abundance and lack of scarcity. Well, that's how the universe works. There's an abundance of everything, the good and the bad. You choose what abundance pot you gonna pick from. You choose that by what frequency you are on.
There's something she's always said. Go, what was it again?
You could be abundantly fucked up. Now, listen, because people be like, I want abundance in my life. I said, we are abundant, but what you're doing is being abundantly in bullshit. So what you want to do is get off match the frequency of abundance you want, because you're abundant anyway. Just tune in, like what you're saying. Tune in.
Yes. So you just said it. When people say I want abundance, you should be telling them you are abundance. You choosing which abundance? A bullshit, exactly. And because the universe has a unlimited source of whatever it is you are going to participate in. The good shit and the bullshit.
And if you're attuned to fear, then it's not in alignment with coming out of your body, because you're saying I'm too scared, and the universe is like, you're too scared, so you're going to stay, and then it gives you more of staying. But if you and then this is what I really do have compassion with, because I feel it in the collective, so much of them are coming to this from a place of grief.
Yeah.
And the place of grief is also a frequency match to a place of regret and desperation. And you swing and do a pendulum between the two. But those two things there are also not really a frequency match to coming out your body.
Correct. And I'm going to tell you how you can flip that. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that's how I came to OB. It was a state of grief. It was my friend had died, my mom had died. But what I did is I turned that grief into curiosity. It was no longer about them not being here with me. It was more about, where the fuck are you? Because I know you still exist. Because even religion tells me that you go on, like you just either in hell or in heaven. You go on, you don't cease to exist when you die. Even religion tells you that. So I knew you are. If you two pass the day, I know y'all are somewhere.
Point of desperation, which is, I don't know where you are. I can't find you. You see the
exactly. But they but those people still know that they are somewhere. They just don't know where they are. So what I'm telling you is, approach it from a sense of curiosity. Change your mourning to, it's not so much if you're there, but where the fuck are you? I want to know where you are, and I want to know you're okay, and I want to know that you're happy and that you're in love and you're surrounded by. That's what made me go this route.
That's beautiful.
Because I knew my mom and my friend were somewhere. I just needed to know where and what was going on. So yeah, no.
It's still gonna come back to that. And you know what? You'll be surprised what people put the mind into when they're ready and not or not. And what we've had a video about the map of consciousness. Not much people went and well, some people went and checked it, but you even say on the part one that you actually using this, like you like constantly, like, yeah, because this is the key. And people are like, sometimes they're not seeing the signs, or they're signs, and you got to consider most of the things and stop seeing with judgment, more with an open spirit, and take all this information, and then you can decide what you want to, dish out or keep. And like you said, this advice, you were already practicing in a way, if I can say that, the map of consciousness, because you literally transmutation, alchemy. You were alchemizing the situation.
You alchemized your grief.
You alchemized your grief. And we've been saying is that, guys, you got to begin to do that.
The reason people aren't is because they don't realize they are the central part of the story.
Yeah.
Most people think they're just a character in God's story.
Yeah.
It's so true.
This is the entire problem with our conditioning, is we all, until you understand you are the God of the story, you're going to continue to think you're just a character in the story of a God. And so therefore you always either going to be looking for something to worship or something to blame. But once you understand you are the central theme to everything around you is the story. You are the central theme, because everything happening to you, good or bad, you are the common denominator. Like, something good happens to you, that ain't got shit to do. Something good happens to you guys, that ain't got shit to do with me until it directly benefits me. Now what happened to y'all has now happened to me, and now that's a central theme in my story, right?
And because of the comfort of some of these systems, they've been brainwashed and programmed to believe that if you step into your main character energy, you are blasphemous, or you are egotistical, you are all of these bad things, because you've still subscribed to the good and bad, and you want to be a good person. So how dare you step into your main character energy?
let me talk on that ego thing. And I don't know if I said this in the first one, but I know Darius, I was listening to one of his latest videos. He did an interview with some lady, and she asked him about ego. And he said this shit, and it was so profound. And like I said, I listen to a lot of what he says, and I know it to be true because I've experienced some of it. So when he says stuff, even if I haven't directly been told that on the other side,
It
I know that
resonates.
I'm aligned with what he's saying because I know it's coming from a place of integrity. I know it's coming from a place of integrity. I know he's not lying because I've experienced some of it. So she asked him about ego, and he said, ego is exactly who you are, but you've been programmed to think ego is bad in order to keep you under control. So when people say, oh, you need to get rid of your ego, no, your ego is literally the foundation of who you are. Good or whatever good and bad is, and I say good and bad in quotation marks because there is no such thing as good and bad. Whatever you believe that to be, your ego is the foundation of who you are on the other side, here, everywhere.
Yeah.
So now I don't subscribe to getting rid of my ego. My ego is who I am. And I ain't trying to change who I am.
Had you not be programmed, you wouldn't try to get rid of it. And that reminds me when people do one thing,
Yes,
which
it's
is
all
saying, well, you
programming.
know what, I want to get in contact with these beings and stuff like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong to do that. But trying to be in contact with this being and not understanding where you are, what's going on
Yeah, yeah.
around you, what this reality is, it's to me sounds counterintuitive. And I'm not saying you got to pick one or the
Yes.
other, but consider doing both.
This go back to what you said earlier about free will. And I started to get into it, but I didn't. I don't believe in free will. There's no such thing as free will because you already know the answers to all the tests. Like, even from a religious perspective, they say, well, God knows everything. Well, if God knows everything, he knew what we would do and he could have
Well,
stopped the whole plan.
that's
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Or
Go
he could
ahead,
have
go ahead.
stopped this from happening. So the truth is, there is no free will. It's all planned by you, not by a God sitting on a throne dictating the affairs, puppet stringing the universe. Is all dictated by you. You already know the outcomes. Even the decisions you change your mind, you knew you would change your mind. Like, you're not surprising your soul by the shit you do. So I don't even believe in free will in that regard. I don't know how people define it, but when I think of free will, it's this: I can do whatever I want. No, you already were going to do whatever you want. So it's not like you're surprising yourself or anyone else.
Corey will be, is there such things about manifesting? Well, check this out then. If it's
Yeah,
already written, so to speak, if
absolutely.
it's all already done, you knew exactly what you're going to do and stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
There's no really, you're not really manifesting, are you?
Hmm.
Think about it.
So let me say this: you're creating what you already knew you were going to create. This is what I'm saying. When you think of free will, there's an element of surprise. Like, you're going to do something that you surprise God or you surprise yourself. There's no surprise. Whatever you create, manifestation. So a lot of these terms, and again, we use these words like manifestation. That's a new age term. It's mostly new age shit. All it is creation. We're fucking manifesting all day. Everything you think about turns into a thought form for creation. This is why I said everybody here is help building the construct, because we're filling it with all the things that are in the construct. So evil is here because we fill this place with evil. Souls from level 12 all the way down to 1 have filled this place with good and filled this place with evil, filled it with polarity, filled it with the dichotomy. We filled it with all of the traps that we are dealing with. Religion isn't a creation by a being, it is our creation. We created the good, we created the evil, we created the traps. So that means we can create the freedom.
It's just about being all that is.
It's just about me. Because listen, so can I tell you, can I nail what you just said home? on the other side, that's all you're doing is being. Because there is no past, there is no future. It's only now. And so you're just existing. And so that's all we're supposed to do here. Don't get caught up in what's right and what's wrong and this and that and this thing over here. Because all it is somebody pointing you into a direction so you won't see this other side. See all the fucking sides and understand it all exists. And you just here to experience it all. And then get the fuck out of here. Like, this
doing less and being more. And that is what it is.
Yes, more. And that's it. That's it. Listen, that's what Jesus was teaching you. That's what Buddha teaching. They all teaching the same shit. This is why I reject all religion, because this is man's interpretation of what these great men were teaching. They were just telling you, fuck all of this shit, be more. Be more. Be better to your brother. Be better to the people around you. Be more of the good you want to see. Or fuck around and be more of the evil you want to see. But don't be acting surprised when evil is at your doorstep. Because you be aware. Be aware. If you want to be the evil, be aware you the evil.
But then at the same time, you are upset about the government, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What? The one you voted for? The one you lined up and put all your
Correct.
time and effort and talking about and putting all your energy into?
Mandate after mandate after mandate.
Listen, can I tell you something? I'll never, ever, 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 ever in my life. Now, listen, you talking to somebody who went to college, got a bachelor's degree in political science. I'm not going to go into why I did that because I don't even like politics. But it was a means to an end. And the end didn't even work out. But I will never vote again because I don't. Why am I participating in a system?
And you
I
don't want to feed it.
You don't want to be a part of the problem.
You're no longer feeding
Listen
the
to me.
fire.
Yeah.
I want people to understand. Listen, I don't want to be a part of the problem. Listen, not even that. The fire ain't even gonna be there much longer. So what the fuck doesn't matter. Like I don't. And I get real passionate about this because people aren't seeing what I've seen. All of this shit is going to be gone soon. It's not going to be 20, 30 years from now. Like in our lifetime, all this shit is going to fall away. Like all of it. The politics, the
Especially
money,
as we know
the
it.
religion. All this shit is going to fall away like dominoes. You pushed one dominoes. You remember how we pushed up? No, not as we know it. Period. It's gone. Like it's gone. There won't be another government replacing what.
Yeah.
But we need one. But what will we do without it?
Well, you know what?
It's that. Where is you've taken away somebody's comforter, their blankie.
This is what I'm telling you. This is why I'm saying this on your platform, and I say it on my platform. It don't fucking matter what you need for comfort. It's gone. It's all going away. Like all of it, it's all going away. The whole construct is going away in our lifetime. This isn't in the by and by, like religion teach you, oh, we're going to get raptured to meet Jesus one day. And then they've been saying that shit since the slavery days and it ain't happened yet. This shit is happening in our lifetime. Like you will not, more than likely, unless you die early, you will not die before this event happens. And so being attached to this shit is stupid because it's all going to be wiped away. Every bit of it.
Because it is tied to this with the ego thing and the death of the ego. And I need to ego death. And you know what it is? The reason why it kind
kill
of...
the ego, yeah.
Every time I hear someone say it, my soul inside my body just goes like that. It's like a fuck no. It's like get the fuck out of here.
It's irking. It's irking my soul. Fuck out of here.
It's funny because I have overused. In the daytime, sometimes if something don't feel right, I feel my soul shake. Be just like, ugh, like fucking yuck.
Yeah.
I don't have a more loving way to say it.
Yes.
Boom, I forgive myself.
Yes.
So, like, okay, the ego, even on
Yeah.
Even if, and this is why now I know why I bothered to even study psychology at some point. It was for the knowing. So when this situation comes up, I would know. I don't subscribe to a lot of the teachings of psychology anyway. It served its purpose for its time, but it also propped up a lot of fuckboys.
Correct.
And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. It did also do some help
Yep.
in bridging people from
Yep.
going from
Yep.
not talking to at least airing something or at least looking at
Yeah.
themselves. But then the concept of this
Yep.
ego thing has now been distorted once more from what it was even originally based and talked at when it was presented in a psychological manner. Yes, there
Yes.
is the ego in the middle. Say you're the man in the middle.
Correct.
And then we're going to say you've got the id, which is the devil on your shoulder. And then you've got the super ego,
Yeah.
which is the angel on your other side. And when people talk about this ego death, it was never, even if they talk about it in the psychological terms, the man in the middle is the you. So when Darius said it, I was like, the
Yep.
bad and
The ego,
it's
all that's you.
literally the triad of who you are. It's the good, the bad, and the person in the middle. The soul you would be the
Yes.
last person you detach from because that
Yes.
is you
Correct.
without the polarity of the id and the
Correct.
super ego.
Yeah.
The angel and the devil on your shoulder. Those, if you want to tell
Correct.
anyone to fuck off right
Correct.
now, tell them because they're the
Yeah.
ones who are
Yeah.
tuning in with this attachment thing and whatever. The one in the middle, the one who says, I don't give a shit about what none of y'all are saying.
Yes. Yes.
When, even in these things, when does the
Yeah.
person ever free themselves? When they stop listening to the either side. But yet you're talking about
Yeah.
doing away with the person in the middle? What,
Inside.
you?
Yep. And the crazy part about it is, if you are the source, why do you need anything to tell you any fucking thing, good or bad? You are the good and the bad. So it ain't nobody has to tell you. This goes back to religion and what we were talking about earlier about people only being good because they don't want to go to hell. Like, why does there need to be a consequence to make you be the person you should want to be? And I say should in quotation because maybe you
Yeah.
ain't even
Right.
supposed to be that. Maybe you are supposed
That's
to be.
what it comes back to the same thing, which is you and your integrity, and actually find out if you truly in your integrity or not. And then so either way, it's okay. But it's the lack of an
Or
understanding.
not. Yep.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Yep.
What the fuck are you being here? What the awareness? Because
Yes.
even now,
Yes.
down to
The
even
awareness.
manifesting something,
Yes.
and what we were saying, like, well, is there such thing? Because if everything's already written, what am I manifesting for? And we established that you just gotta be. You're being in the now, and you gotta be all that is, right? But then a little tip: when you want something, you don't really want something. You be the things you want. I mean, you be the big house you want.
You only want it because you know you're
become
going to get it.
Right. But if you, and that's what I'm going to say to the community, if you still want to play this game, it's okay. But at least be aware that's what you're doing.
Yes. Yes. Where that you playing the game. Yes. So there is no want. You don't want a big house. You are the frequency of that big house. You just need to tap into that. You don't want love. You are love. You just need to tap into the frequency of what that feels like to be loved. And then love will, this energy, the source that has all things, no scarcity, will produce love in the physical. Now, again, let me tell you, this is what I found. When it comes to creation, I'm going to stop calling it manifestation. We'll call it creation. When it comes to creation, people don't want to accept the fact that we are in a realm one reality where things have to present themselves in a physical manner. And that takes time. So you can create something with your thought forms and your emotion, but it still has to manifest itself in a physical reality. That isn't instant. Only on the other side is it instant. Here, it takes whatever time it takes, and how much time it takes depends on how long you're able to stay within that frequency emotionally. Again, not just thinking about it. And this is a common misconception about manifestations. I remember they made that whole book, The Secret, based on half of it. Well, just think about it all the time. Well, it's people that think about winning the lottery every day, all day, and they don't win the lottery because emotionally they haven't attached themselves to what it would feel like to win that lottery and willing to wait until that manifestation occurs in the physical, or that creation occurs in the physical. That's another part about it that people don't get when they start talking about alchemy and stuff like that. It's never instant in realm one. It can't
And
be.
we didn't sign up for that here. That's not
It's
what
just
this
too
part
much
is about.
distortion here.
Exactly.
It's too much shit it's got to go through.
Exactly, and you're referring to something that's very simple. It's called momentum, and the thing is, that is why. And then I'm going to go back on what you just said and what the description you had about the ego, the id, and what was the other one? The super ego. Yeah, that's why they fuck with you, so you don't know who you are. So if you don't know who you are, then you're not gonna say I am the big house,
Right.
because you're not gonna say I am the
You
car
can't
of my
create.
dream. You're not gonna say none of that. Do you know why you're not gonna
You
say none of
can't
that? Because you
create.
don't think you are. That's it. It's that simple.
Well, that's it. If you don't know that you're source, then you're depending on an outside source to give you what you want. And you can't match that frequency if you need it to come from somewhere else. If you want a thing, and we use all this monetary and material shit because it resonates more with people. Just let's be honest. Like when we talk about it in terms of money, the house, the car, or whatever, it just resonates more with people. Fuck all that shit anyway. That shit is temporal and it don't even matter. But if that is what you want, that's fine because I am those things as well. You just got to be aware that I am that, and all I got to do is just keep myself emotionally at this level, and that will present itself in the physical for me at some point in time, and I am patient enough to wait for that time to happen. That's how it works.
Some people it's be in love. Some people it's have yeah.
Correct.
That's up to you. Now, I prefer a more general meaning, simply because you are kind of like limiting yourself when you are trying to be too specific. Although you can be specific, but hey, you choose.
You choose your abundance.
Yeah. But you think about it, it's millionaires,
Yeah.
What,
right?
right.
It's millionaires that got all the money in the world
Yeah.
and can't have children.
Exactly.
For them, their
Exactly.
desire is to have a child. They got all the money. They don't money, material, cars, houses. They got all that
Exactly.
shit, and they still unfulfilled because they don't have the thing that they desire most. But they don't understand the thing that they desire most comes from them, and they looking for it in the outside source. I'm telling you, get rid of the outside sources. Stop praying to stuff. Stop doing. Just get your ass on the free. How would you feel if you had everything you desired? For me, if I had $10 million, my life would just be more calm. I wouldn't have to worry about bills. I could be more tranquil. I could give more. I could spend more time in this area and that. So what am I doing now? I'm doing all that now. I'm giving what I can. I'm
Yeah.
spending time where I can with the
Yeah.
people that I can help. I'm doing the shit
Yeah.
I'm doing with the OBE stuff and creating this content to help people. I'm making myself
Yep.
happy even when things around me not saying are saying you shouldn't be. I'm making myself at peace even when the things
Yeah.
around me, because my life ain't perfect, are saying you shouldn't be at peace. I'm doing that, and I know, and I do that with the knowing that what I want is within me, and it will manifest
That's
itself in a
it.
physical form at some point
Because you
in
know
the
it's
future.
coming.
I ain't worried about when it is. When it is when it is. Because when I get that, and also when it does come, my life ain't gonna be no different than it is now because I'm already moving in that energy right now. So the $1 million ain't gonna make me happier because I'm already happy.
It's just that I'm because I'm tapped in to how the collective energies are. And there is still swathes of people who were like, yeah, but that's delusional. What you're speaking about is delusional. And that because of these comfort structures,
What's the
false
alternative?
comfort structures that are in our lives, we've been taught to believe that acting and moving like this through the world is delusional.
So you know what I say to those people? I don't care. I don't care what you think about that. Keep moving the way you move and you'll keep getting what you get. I don't give a fuck about your outcome of your situation because you chose it. You could do what we're doing. You could do what we're doing and experience what we're experiencing. Or you could do the shit you doing and keep complaining. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what your life look like. And I'll tell that to my followers. I don't give a fuck what your life look like. You chose it. You want a different life? Change it. You want something different?
It's very important what you're saying because what it is referring again to not judging, trying to get rid of that shit. And the reason being is because you say, oh, yeah, well, it's not feasible.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? It's ludicrous.
It's delusional.
It's delusional and la, 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 whatever else they decide to say. But at the same time, people with wealth, they don't work as hard as you do. Facts. I don't care what you're saying, but they don't. But there's a reason for that. Not because people, again, comforting themselves in belief, saying, yeah, but they do bad stuff for the money or whatever. Not all of them. Not all of them. Some are more spiritual than me. They're more aligned than me. And trust me, I met some people, I'm like, they're pretty aligned to me. I'm looking at them and just like, I see where you're going.
Correct.
Well, I'm going to give you a little thing. Did you know the Freemason practice obese? Did you know that?
Correct. So you ready for this? All of that shit that they try to teach you is demonic and all that stuff. So I'm going to start by saying this. Let's go back to the Adam and Eve story and the true story. So what happened was Enki, who is Enlil's brother, was telling Adam and Eve, Enki, the serpent in the Bible story, but in the Sumerian text, it's just Enki, the brother of Enlil, the sons of Anu, that came here, genetically modified the existing hominid that was here to help create us, our flesh suits. And when I say us, I mean our flesh suits, not our souls, our flesh suits. Just the suits in the lab. The souls decided to come down in these suits. That was the avenue that we get to come down and experience this as God in a flesh suit. Enki was with Adam and Eve, Adamu and Eve, his wife, and was telling them who they really are. Was telling them, you're not just a human, you're a God soul that is the same as us. You have the same abilities we do, maybe more. And this is what angered Enlil, aka God in the Bible story, when they said, oh, we naked. Because they were supposed to be ignorant workers and shut the fuck up, don't know nothing, work. That's what Enlil wanted for the creation. They weren't here to be all-knowing supreme beings. They were here to be workers. So Enki told them who they were. This is why Enlil got mad and kicked them out the garden. The Garden of Eden is actually a realm in the construct. Darius has been to it. So he said the angel with the flaming sword, still there right now. Still there. That was a time period and a realm within this construct. So this actually happened. I confirmed this with him. He told me all the Anunnaki story actually happened exactly the way they said it happened. So when we get to people trying to confuse you or confound you, they do this through opposites. So with the Freemasons, they're going to tell you that's demonic. Why? to keep you from the knowledge of the truth. You know what I'm saying? So this is Enlil and his religion that he built, from the time of that all the way through to now, saying what Enki was telling you is demonic, because what Enki's telling you demonic, but what he's telling you that people are telling you the Freemasons are demonic people to keep you from freeing yourself with the knowledge that they have. They understand OBE. They understand the purpose and our experience. They understand all this stuff because they're taught this stuff as they go through the process. This shit ain't new. Darius ain't the first person to have an OBE. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening since John the Revelator in Revelations. That's how he wrote Revelations. He was shown this stuff in an OBE. Nikola Tesla. Jesus, when he was in the boat, he came out his body and revealed himself walking on water. He was still in the boat asleep. His soul came out of his body, which he learned in the Egyptian mystery schools when he was 12, 13, 14 years old. When they was in that boat, he was in the bottom of the boat asleep, and it started rocking and this and that and the other. He came out of his body and walked on the water and revealed himself walking on the water. That's why they was able to see him walking on the water. These shits ain't mysterious. Just literally OBEs and stuff having to do with this type of thing. And the more you understand that, the more understanding you have, you ain't weirded out by none of what's going on. The Freemasons, I used to be one of them people like, oh, them motherfuckers is demonic and they drink children's blood. We don't fucking know that shit. And the people the beings and people that do that ain't got nothing to do with the knowledge that the Freemasons are spitting out. That's something totally different. They ain't got shit to do with them.
The bigger the transgression, then the bigger the secret, and then that's how.
And correct. And guess what? I don't judge none of them either. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't care. Like, I don't care about none of that shit because it literally is just part of the experience here. Everything that has to be experienced here in the realm has to be experienced. Whether it's extremely great or extremely evil, it has to be experienced. And now we're coming into time where everything that could be experienced in the construct has been. That's why it's about to be over. It ain't over because it's some God experience that we are. It's only happening because everything that can be experienced in this construct from realm 13 all the way down to 1 has been experienced. This is what they share with Darius. So this is the only reason it's ending. We here for the experiences and we done got them all. So now it's time to go home.
Every time I see Darius say something about something like on because I even though I haven't taken his lessons, I see this, but he made me realize
you don't need to.
You see what I'm saying? Which he let me know. Oh, you don't need it. All you need to do is bap. And I was like, okay. But then when he speak about something, I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna see if that was right. The Garden of Eden thing he's talking about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Every time he says some stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna check that out, see if he think. But then you know what I realized? I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. I promise you, Corey, when I get out of my body now, I don't give a shit about what's going on here. I just want to go home.
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? Let me step out the construct. And 9 times out of 10, I just leave it. Because unless it's to do with my family or something, and that's what's crazy. Like, that's why I've been that. And this is my soul's path's way of pulling me back in, because now if I do anything to do with the construct, it usually has to do with a Lyran coming up to me and be like, tell Corey this, or like this guy the other day I saw with this thing coming out of his mouth. He's got his own thing going on with his face, but he was a lovely guy finally, you know.
Yeah, and ain't that crazy how all of these scary beings be the most nicest people? Just go grab a cup of coffee.
He came and was like, nah, I got something to show you. Went on his ship, He showed me some stuff. He showed me some technology stuff and showed me some like med bed stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like that. But unless I'm here for that or something to do with my family, like a message to give someone or something, I don't care to know anymore.
I don't care about knowing all this stuff no more because it don't matter anyway. What does it matter? Listen to me. The other side ain't special no more. It's not special. Like, can I be real with y'all? It's not special. That's our existence. Flying ain't special. Once you've done it, it ain't special. You realize, motherfucker, that's what I do. That's how I travel. That's a mode of travel for me. It's going to the other side. This is the best way I can describe it. Going to the other side for me is how rich people feel when they go to the mall. It ain't special to buy a Louis Vuitton belt because you're fucking rich. You do it all the time. It's Tuesday. Going to buy a new car ain't special for them because they got 8 of them. Going to the other side, to me, it's home. Going home never excites me. Like when I go out to the store and I got to come back home, I'm not, oh shit, I get to go home. Yeah, duh.
We're referring to Darius. Darius says some things, and it's available on the net. He says some things. He say, even if you don't have an OE, it's just for you to know about the other side. That. So whether you have one, now you recommend for some of us to have one if they have the ability. Well, we all have the ability, but if they desire, that's what I'm trying to say. If they have the desire, then go ahead.
Yep.
It's there, and you can go with Darius, or you can go with other people. There's so many other people anyway that's talking about this.
Whoever.
And I was referring to the Freemason earlier. It's simply because it's not a coincidence that these people that you may perceive as really wealthy, they don't got to do much. Because when you know how the thing work, guess what? You stop everything. You stop doing this whole thing. So know when, because it was in reference to what you say, darling, you were talking about the fact that, but people was going to say, but that's deluded. Like, what you mean?
Delusional.
Delusional. Yes, that you say. It's, delusional and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. That's when you look up these people and they only spend 2 hours working a week and they have so much money, guess how it's done? There's obviously something you haven't understood here. And I don't want to make it all about money, but same thing when someone is loved and have love around them. There's obviously something you didn't get.
Yes.
So you ignoring this and saying, but it's not possible without you even trying to begin to understand, don't even make any sense.
So can I tell you, those people that you talking about, and I just want to say this because it go back to what I just said about the other side not even being special. The people you talk about don't even desire or care about the things that they have. All of this extra shit, they don't, that's not their focus. Their focus is on how they feel and how they deal with life emotionally, right? The stuff is just the physical manifestation of the energy they already done got on the level of. So for them, like I said, buying a car for them is a Tuesday. Like, we don't have, or we perceive not to have in the physical, not understanding that we are all these things. We are the nice car. We are the nice house. We are the love that the children want. We are all these things. Us not perceiving that, we don't understand it ain't even important because that's just who we are. We don't have to I don't have to put no extra emphasis on it. That's who I am. I'm just waiting for it to manifest in the physical.
If you take a minute and sit down and think to yourself, well, if I can get anything, if I go on the other side, yes, anything you desire. Oh, even the coffee I love so much, even better than what you have. Guess what? You'll be bored. What it means is you should enjoy this life here because the mere fact that you got these little challenges, and that's excitement.
Correct.
It's not fair. It's excitement. It's why.
Why do you think you come here? You bored as shit on the other side. Dog, come on, listen. Think about it. On the other side, you don't experience no loss, no pain, no scarcity, no nothing. At source, you probably sitting there like, what that feel like? What it feel like to get abused? I don't fucking know what that is. I've been chilling for eons. I've been chilling since, ain't not even for eons. I live in it because there is no past or future. So I'm in a constant state of chill. Like, how bored would you be if you could create, listen, what's your most desirable thing you could have here on earth? I'd be. I was about to say something. I don't think I should say it. But I was going to say something a little extra, but I'm going to keep it PG. I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach. Yeah, cut that shit. That's what I said when I said it. No, I'm not even going to say it because, yeah. I'm on a beach. I'm on a beach sipping Mai Tais, eating the steaks and lobster and all of it. I can literally see that would be for me, a beautiful lifestyle would be moving to an island and living the rest of my days doing nothing but that. Now, on the other side, I literally can live that for what people here would consider 1,000 years. How bored would I be at it doing that shit every day for 1,000 years? You come here to experience. This is why what Darius says is so fucking profound. You literally only here to experience that which you are not. All the flaws, all of the bullshit that we experience now, and it's crazy because that go back to what we was talking about the inner body experience. That's why I'm so okay with what I'm experiencing. Do I want to go home? Fuck yeah, this place is trash. Like, let's be honest. But I ain't in no rush. I'm cool because I know what I'm experiencing here. I'm never going to experience this again. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad. I'm finding joy in all of it because I know it's temporary and I'll never have. And I'm finding joy in how to manipulate my experience, the alchemy part. Now I'm fucking learning. I'm a wizard. I can wave a wand through creation, aka manifestation, and I can create the reality if I'm willing to wait. Now listen, if you ain't willing to wait, fuck off. Go live the bullshit life you want to live. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want to do. But if you want something better, find the people that know the secrets and fucking start practicing the secret. What do you have to lose? I tell people all the time, like, you've been going to church for 20, 30 years and you still poor? My grandmother had a church, and her and every member I can remember when I was young was poor when I was young, and now that I'm grown and old, most of them lived and died and was still poor. Except for the church. And listen, the church was poor because all the poor people went there. They had no money to give. Like, my grandma was one of those ghetto preachers in a ghetto church in a ghetto area. So it wasn't even a whole lot of money to be made, enough for her to live her life.
Because the church in itself is the roof over your head if you sleep in the church. But if you can't have, that's the thing. It's always like that. This level.
So my point is this: all of them didn't have the desires that they wanted. So you spent your whole existence here, your whole experience here, which you chose. So I ain't judging it. I'm just looking at it from the outside and saying, hey, I don't have to have that experience. I can have the experience I have now and have a better experience material wise because I know the secrets. The secret ain't praying to an external source. The secret is understanding I am that source and I can create whatever the fuck I want. And as long as I'm willing to wait.
Was just going to mention some things. The thing is, what you were saying, like you're on the other side, you're born and all that. But the thing is, yeah, you're probably asking yourself, I wonder what it is not to be me. And then you're probably saying this. However, the reason why you can't get rid of the ego and all of that stuff, because you are supposed to reintegrate this old experience. Because guess what? The next time you're bored on the other side, you can recreate it. You can choose to recreate that.
You can remember it.
That is why it is also for. So you don't have to, but you can find out certain excitement you can do about it because you've experienced all of that. Now, to go back to what you just said, and I think now I'm going to touch on what we earlier talked about. All right.
But look at the time, though.
Yeah,
we've been went over.
And I'm okay with and listen, I know. And listen to me. Listen to me. I don't give a shit because y'all are family.
You know,
well,
if you want to do a part 3, I'm
next time, innit?
Yeah.
Well, guys, listen. Yes. No, listen. I'm almost to the point where I want to start doing this like at least every other week.
You know how many people was like,
having a chat.
Call it shooting the shit and just put it up. Do you know what? We'll figure it out. But for now, we know what we have. We'll hit you up on Telegram again, and we'll figure out another date sooner rather than later.
Yeah. We'll
okay, that'll be great.
Cool. Yes, ma'am. I'm super excited. Listen, because I don't think y'all understand how much y'all doing for me. Y'all are helping me conceptualize a lot of the things that I've been shown and the downloads I'm getting from the other side that I don't have the words to really, like, I feel like the way I'm explaining it when I talk to y'all, I'm not explaining it the same way on my own videos or even videos I do with other people. It's something about your energy that gives, I don't want to say validity, it gives a concreteness to what I'm doing and what I'm saying and what I'm thinking in my mind. You guys are giving me ways to conceptualize it that I'm not getting other places. So I'm so thankful that y'all are part of my experience here. Like, listen, I don't think y'all understand. I'm so thankful y'all are part of my experience.
For us, you were the catalyst to people actually seeing that value in us. Before then, they were like, who are these two fucking English people talking shit about the map of consciousness on my shit? So your energy, the value that you feel that you're getting from us is equally received back, is equally obtained by us from you and equally reciprocated. Like, this is what we all came here for, clearly. Like I said, when you got us together, you're like, yo guys, this is what we're gonna do. I was like, I know this has happened, so it's beautiful watching it play out and acting like we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. But
wait. What you say? It's already written anyway. You already decided that anyway.
So in the spirit of that, we'll let you go, but we will see you soon.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. And you're
yes, ma'am.
You're so loved by us. That's it.
And likewise, like you guys have priority over anything else. If anybody hit me up and you guys hit me up at the same time, you guys are the priority, and that's for sure. Because the love is equally reciprocated because it feels like home, and it's crazy. I have a Frenchman and an English woman across from me, and it feels like we're all from the same place. And that's because we all are. We all are.
That was another Shooting the Shit with Shem and Omondi and Corey. It is what it is. Ciao. We love you. We love you. Ciao.
Ciao.